Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Maybe you heard about the unfortunate situation in Poland, which is the Poles lost their balls, which is the new government was formed and a new prime minister was voted in the office, and that is the same beta male or a bowlless weasel, Mr. Donald, not that one, Tusk. So the same, DT. Donald Tusk is the new elected Prime Minister of Poland, and he is the batch of the guys from Brussels. He's going to do everything those guys tell him to do, regardless of what his Polish population would want. Remember, his party did not win the elections. His party was the second. The bad dudes still won the elections as they got the highest number of votes. People voted for them the most, but they were incapable of creating a coalition. But Donald Tusk, the beta guy, was able to do it. But guess what he's going to do now? He's going to try to demand a total mobilization. Ready for it? What does total mean? Total means everything, total, the entire amount. That's what total means. So when I say total mobilization, let's say he comes and says in front of his Polish nation, we're going to have a total mobilization. What do you think when he says a total mobilization? Now you can talk about military mobilization, political mobilization, social mobilization. All this together means total. It doesn't mean, he didn't say economic mobilization, total. All right, so he says that the West, the whole West is going to have a total mobilization against the Russians. So I guess you're going to show up at your, I don't know, your office of conscription or whatever those are called, and then you go over there and you're going to pick up a weapon and you go and fight the Russians. Good luck. So I have here an article coming from Ukrainska Pravda where we have this guy making this statement and get some details in the meantime. Ukrainska Pravda, newly elected beta man, I don't want to call him beta man, beta weasel, that's what I'm going to call him, Polish Prime Minister says his government will demand total mobilization of West to help Ukraine. Now, total mobilization, as I said, could be militarily, all of this, not could be, it is all of it, total. This is the weasel, Mr. Beta Weasel. Or usually, a weasel is beta, but The newly elected Prime Minister of Poland, Donald Tusk, said that his government will demand total mobilization of the West to help Ukraine. So we go to war, you go to war, we go to war, who's going to war? Are you going to go to war, Tusk? I don't think he will. I think he's going to lead from behind, because that's how the leaders, it's such a, leadership meaning you lead everybody. Let's lead, you're in front. But all these generals and all these guys lead from behind. They push you. Hey, I'm the leader, but I'm leading from behind. Now, that's not the way we should change the word. You're not a leader. You're, I don't know, an ass pusher. I don't know. I'm going to think of a proper word for these guys. Onet, citing Tusk during his speech in the Sejm, where he presented the program of actions and the compositions of the new government as reported by European Pravda. He is Brussels man. He is those guys. He doesn't care. He doesn't care about the Poles. That's what I think. He doesn't care about the Poles. All he cares about himself. And he knows, or he thinks that he grabbed this little bull by the horn or a tiger by the tail, and he cannot let go. He's on this guy's side. So he goes all the way. I don't think that he can be such an idiot not to understand that runs against his own country and own nation. I don't think he's such an idiot. But hey, and I quote this guy, I can no longer listen to politicians who talk about being tired of the situation, war in Ukraine. They are telling Ukrainian President Zelensky that they are tired of the solution of the situation. They are tired of the situation. You don't do anything. Of course you're not tired. he is like a guy in the stands sitting over there, and then the guys are, I don't know, fighting, or they're playing one against one another. I'm talking about, let's say, football, and say, I can't believe, man, these guys are tired, man. Jesus Christ. Don't tell me these guys are tired. Well, some of them are involved, some of them are like you in the stands, like other politicians. Indeed, they should not be tired, because those guys are dying. Why are you tired? Well, I think it's a lot of pressure that comes from certain angles. I don't think the Poles would necessarily do what they do without the American, or the European Union, the Brussels. Look what's going on to Ukraine, not following, refusing to follow orders. How much pressure is on that country. And it's okay. Tusk, he's energetic, that's what he tells us. And again, he parrots the same garbage. Tusk said that an attack on Ukraine is an attack on all of us. No, it's not true. On you, go and fight. You go. You take your family, if you have one, and you go in the front line and you fight. Lead by example. When you do that and you stay over there and you don't come back, then we're talking. When you don't come back, okay? Hey, where is Tusk? He didn't return. Okay, now I would like to talk to him. Well, he can't. Why? Because he didn't get tired. He's full of energy. Go over there. Lead by example. Be a leader. You see, on attack on all of us. No, don't buy that. That's not true. That's not true. I refuse. I don't see it. I don't think it is. I think that's an attack on certain kind of people, certain kind of interests, but not on all of us. The Prime Minister called for unity on the issue of Ukraine, Brussels talk, which he is convinced should bring Poles together. Yeah, okay, if they would have brought the Poles together, then your party and your message would have 99% of the votes, which I think you have like 20 some. So a little bit smaller. Your beak, close your beak. The new Prime Minister added that the Poles' assistance to Ukraine is very important, but at the same time indicated that Warsaw should be persistent when it comes to the interest of Polish farmers in particular. I take your house, but I give you, I don't know, a chicken. That's what he does. I take your life and everything you got, but I think the farmers, it's in particular. This guy is a guy who would say anything just to promote his own life, and he got Brussels by the dingy-lingy. And I'm quoting again this guy. But we must remember what the war is about. We must remember. Maybe you have to remember. Don't remind us. What do you know about what we know or we don't remember? So he is the daddy or mommy. And he comes in a room and say, hey, I remind you that in about 15 minutes, we're going to go to see Santa. Really? Okay. Off, leave. So but we must remember, yeah, you and your little weasel must remember what the war is about. And probably if you really know, you will change your approach 100%. The Ukrainians are fighting for something extremely important. Your interest. Got that one. And you fool them into thinking that they fight for you and for them and for everybody, for the values, and that their battle began in the Maidan. No. And who pushed the Maidan? Which Maidan are you talking about? The one in 2014? Because if you talk about that, you don't like democracy, Tusk. That they are fighting to join the community of the Western world. So they are not in the community of the Western world as long as you don't come and pay. They want Ukraine to be a democratic, which is not, legal state. They were, like Western countries. And they are fighting for it now. Tusk emphasized. Okay, well, if it's about being a legal state and being a democratic and joining a community, how about they join with everything but economy and military? Because they want to be democratic, let's give them democracy. But let's say, and they want to be a legal state. That's okay, they have the borders, obviously. But let's say they would not have their economy linked to the European Union, but would have it linked to Russia. Would that be okay? Because it's not about money, it's not about that. It's about values, about democratic values, legal state, community, okay? Or military, okay? No military whatsoever. It's just going to be a community, and you're going to have democracy and a state. Do you think Tusk would say, yeah, that's okay. There will be no militarization, no military, no army. Ukraine will have no army. And by the way, their crop, the grain will go to Russia, will not go to the European Union, okay? And the resources will not, the economy, the Ukrainian economy will not be linked to the European Union whatsoever. No, he's not going to say that, because that's exactly and the only thing they want. Military rockets in order to plunder Ukraine. That's the whole game. Do you know why? What was the main reason why the garbage in 2014, in the spring 2014, occurred, the coup d'etat? It was an economic reason. Because the guy, Viktor Yanukovych, decided to say, we're going to incorporate Russia as well in dealing economically, not only with the European Union. He chose Russia economically, to a certain extent. And European Union said, no, you can't do that. You have to be our plunder, not their plunder. So again, it's garbage. It's not about democracy, legal, community, love and happiness, everybody in the butt or something. No. It's about money. It's about your resources, your consumption, but you can consume, but the production of grain specifically should not come to us, right? It should come to somewhere else, to Africa, let's say. No, they will not want that. The Prime Minister also announced that in a few dozen hours he is leaving for Brussels, hoping to convince the allies to protect democratic values and Ukraine from Russian aggression. Only a united West, I'm quoting, can help Ukraine win in the fight for democratic values. We're going to give you democratic values as much as you want. No military and economically linked to Russia. Okay? No, they rather have the other way around. No democracy, but give us the resources and the food to eat from you guys. That's what it is. And he goes to Brussels. In the old days, you used to, as a vassal state or vassal king, leader of your country, after you became the leader or with the approval of the guy in charge of you, you would go over there and you bend your knee in front of the whatever the boss would be, and you were a vassal. That's why he goes to Brussels, to bend his knee in public. The same thing that he did in medieval times, and even way back in history. We didn't change, the same. It's just a little bit with a different flavor, and they wear suits with ties. But it's the same thing. Why? Because we are the same. Look at these guys. They still believe in superstitions. We're in year 2023, and you still think that superstitions are around. You see a cat, you turn around and 5 times or something. And not only that, I mean, I don't have to go in deeper, but when I say superstition, you know exactly what I mean. In 2023, I thought the Greeks already told us, 2,400 years ago, when they talked about Zeus's thunderbolt, that there's no such a thing. When they said, but we're still, I think the locust invasion is about to come now, is the end of the world. You should visit these places from time to time and see how they see the signs. They've been seeing the signs for the past, 2,000 years almost. The signs are here. The end. Jesus Christ. Oh, there's a cat over there. That's the devil. These guys. So anyway, here is with Mr. Tusk. So general mobilization, my friends. Total mobilization. All right, well, he's the leader, but he's not going to be actively involved. He's going to be from behind. And don't you dare to get tired of this war that they are fighting. You're in the stands. Look at this motherfucker. He got tired, man. Like you watch a football game, and you see over there Messi or Ronaldo or someone, and you say, what is Messi walking, man? He's tired. What the fuck have you been doing for the past 90 minutes? Drinking beer and talking smack? Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.